Good afternoon, Daniel. Jason from Auto Appraise, 1968 RM21H. That's what we're looking at today. H383 high performance 4-barrel car. RM21 is a Roadrunner, Belvedere Roadrunner actually. Okay, St. Louis build. I think that's G in the VIN. So pretty presentable, isn't it? It's gonna definitely need some paint work and some color sanding and touch-up. All right, let's run underneath the car. For starters, we'll skip right past bumpers, wheels, and tires because they're all in nice shape. These wheels just need some cleanup and polishing. So not much. P185 75 R15s in the front. Rocker trim is like new, if not new. Back here, M&H Slicks LTP 315 60R15s. Wheels are in nice shape. Axle markings present. Plenty of Schwick tread there. Measurement wise, we got just a little more space behind the tire on one side versus the other. I've got still photos of this. The most important part is we've got about an inch right up in here of clearance, and that is virtually identical, within an eighth side to side. So, and bumpers I just quickly mentioned, no issues. A little bit of polish would be just fine. So nothing really to talk about front or rear. Here's this measurement. Let me get the light out of the way. And here's this gap. Just about the same thing. So up front, Hotchkiss heavy duty sway bar and links. K-frame is in nice shape. Inner fender wells and rails are in nice shape. Die holes look good. That upper ball joint, I'm going to turn my camera sideways to get in here. Upper ball joint boot has got a tear in it, but the suspension otherwise is pretty clean. A little bit of lacking paint detail up in here, could be blacked out a little better. Texture added to the inner fenders. This fender needs a support bracket, and this one the same way. They're a little floppy. Lower core supports in very nice shape, detailed well. We'll get into the cooling here shortly. Underbody has some welded repairs throughout the floor pans and whatnot, everything that's been changed. Front disc brake setup is in nice shape. Those shocks aren't too old. Those are non-adjustables. A little bit of cosmetic deterioration on the upper mounts. This inner fender looks virtually the same. All the way up to the front. And die holes, here we go. Nothing really to be concerned about. There's our front and inner structure. Lower control arms are painted up nicely. Everything was taken apart, wasn't all blacked out with the spray can that I can tell. The suspension is very clean. Tie rod ends, idler arm, pitman arm, everything's nice. That's all nice. A little bit of touch-up work here and there. Brake rotors look like they're in good shape. Calipers do not look like they're leaking, which reminds me there's a driver's side rear brake line leaking. It looks like it could be tightened up. So you can see the repair panels have been put in. Up front. A little bit of patchwork right up in here. Hard to tell. I'm going to increase my size on the screen there. Hard to tell what I'm looking at. But looks pretty solid, whatever they did there. Same spot on the other side, symmetrical. So the pans are nice and clean. It was definitely all taken apart. You can see the spot welds here that were drilled out, and then some MIG welds along those pieces that were set in and then welded in. New lines, proportionary valve to the brakes looks nice and clean. Pretty duplicate side to side. This panel over here is either done with a little better detail or not done. Can't really see the seam here up behind the transmission. There's a cut right there, and then a repair. So okay, so some pan repair work has been done. These fuel lines and brake lines run into the back fuel here in particular. Just a little bit of black overspray, so there was a little bit of touch-up work done. After they were put in, not much. Looks nice. Frame ties, nice and stable. Everything looks good coming all the way back. Pockets here ahead of the rear tires. That panel's been replaced. I'll move a little slower. I know this light doesn't work great down here, and the wall light is giving me some kind of lighting feedback, so I'm hoping this is coming out better than what I'm seeing on my screen. Drive shaft hoop added. That's a bolt-in dealio there. Look at this little tiny exhaust. Stainless banded clamps. This is a really, really nice exhaust system. That's a monster. It's at least 3-inch. I'm gonna put my tape measure around it when I set my phone down. Needs a little bit of polish work, you know, up here up top. We'll finish up with the floors and the frame ties, and I'll go back to the mechanical for you. So again, nice clean lines have been replaced all the way back. All new stuff. Parking brake. Go back here and look at the tubbing and some of the welding and repairs. Panel replacement here. Wheel wells in good shape. Rear frame rail extensions all look nice. You can see this seam sealer all along here. That whole pan was changed, and we have the same thing on this side. All the way back around the flange there, you can see where they cut the trunk pan. See it up in there? A little bit of cosmetic oxidation happening up there in the pocket. And then these are the extension panels in the trunk. These you can see have been welded into place. So all of this was changed out. 2 tabs on our quarter panels and the correct reinforcement ribs on the back side. So I think all the sheet metal was purchased. This is really the only tiny elongation in a rail right here. Super tiny. Nothing to be worried about. These holes all look great. All these die holes look nice along here. So structurally, seems like it's in really nice shape. And then nothing really different over here. 2 tabs, extension panels, reworked, changed out. There's our structure. Heavily reinforced 8 3/4 rear end. So obviously I didn't mention this, but the leaf spring perches here moved inward, inbound. Rear end gear reported to have been stepped up to a higher ratio. There's a little brake line leak right there. Not sure. Might just be need to be tightened. But there's a little bit of drippage here on the tire in various locations, so probably needs to be tended to. Same thing, non-adjustable shocks in the rear. Backing plates look pretty decent, fairly clean and dry, not too many miles. New pinion snubbers. There's our fuel pump way up there. And then the exhaust dumps out right in front of the axle. Axle's in the way currently because the wheels are hanging, but when it's on the ground, it's going to be out of the way. So it's a beautiful exhaust system. One small ding in the muffler. Not a real big deal. All right, that is structurally speaking, there's the underbody. A little bit of cosmetic stuff could be cleaned up. So mechanically, tail shaft seal looks good. Doesn't look like the pan is dripping much. A little bit of oxidation, cheap chrome. I'm going to reposition my phone here to do some better recording. Little touch-up paint on the exhaust and some pitting here starting to happen on the headers. You're not in focus there. Let me see. How about that? Inspection cover is there. Just 1 drip of oil. Not bad. Not much. A little bit of dampness over here. That could be coming down the side. And I haven't really spent much time under the hood. There's our transmission, supposed to be marked, and it is not. There's no VIN on that spot. And way up here, maybe a little drip of oil coming down from the, it's dripping off the bottom of the exhaust manifold. Can you see it? Can't really get my flashlight in there very good. There we go. There we go. So that oil might have a little higher source. All right. Move on along to the front seal. Front main pan seal looks great. Aftermarket harmonic balancer. Chrome timing chain cover. And let's see if we can get in up here. It's all looking pretty nice. Fuel pump's pretty dry. Nothing of much to point out over here. Above your oil filter housing. engine numbers. Let's cover those real quick. So it's a 68 block, so the pad is nothing on the pad, which is normal. There we go. 8 Apple 28. Let's see, these headers are giant. Can I get a look at that? Can you see it? There it is up there. It's blurry. There it is. 8 Apple 28. 2, 4, 6, 8. 330-M. Mary is the engine casting, the block casting. All right, I think I've bored us enough down here. Got one little burn mark on our speedometer cable, or wear mark you can see right here. And braided lines going to it. Pretty nice. So a pretty decent underbody. A lot of rust repair work probably conducted and then cleaned up. So pretty good for a driver. That's my thoughts. Let's talk about the paint while I got it up here. All right, so here's our exploded view. Got a little bit to discuss. So here's our key. WS will be wet sand required. S for shrink, B for bubbles, R for rivet lines, and then I added shrink there. But so along the front fender, I'll show you in a minute, there's a couple spots there of concern. B for bubble. There's a small bubble in the corner of the driver's door. R for rivets. There's a line of rivets that have kind of sucked in, and that's probably going to need to be scuffed, filled, and that door blended or painted to make that go away. And then we've got a C for a chip, just a little tiny touch-up chip at the bottom of the door. There's an area here on the wheel lip that could stand to be wet sanded and buffed. B for bubbles. This is an area that's going to get painted. They told me they're going to paint from the quarter line down on both sides. That's what's going on the actually I got this backwards. This is on the, no, this is right. This is on the driver's side. So over here we've got this quarter panel has some repair work, and we know that mostly because of readings off the digital gauge. There is a small crack right here in the wheel well showing where the patch was. There's some blend lines where they kind of fogged this in this little radius here. So you can see those with a flashlight on them up on a hoist. They're not horrible, but might be able to work on those, blend them out a little bit. They're going to paint that quarter anyway. Maybe they'll make them go away. Got some scuffs on the door here, and a few just marks and things, whatnot, on the passenger door going on, a few little chips. And then a little bit of this, I just put same times 3. I mean, still a couple chips, couple scratches, polishing marks, etc. Edge of the wheel well, I'm not really sure. Maybe a little bit of touch-up required, or maybe somebody wheeled through the edge of the paint a little bit. And then there's a little of a color sand through area on the wheel well. So I'll set this in case you want to freeze frame it. Okay. Driver's side is probably the best side. So the car could just stand really to be buffed and polished. It's black. B stands for black, and B stands for it's a bitch to keep clean. So a few little scuffs along here could probably be color sanded out. You don't really feel them. So the whole the whole car getting wet sanded and wheeled would be a good thing. Here's a mark on the fender that's needs a little buffing. I don't think I even wrote that down. Oh yeah, I did. I have it right. No, I don't have that one. I have this one, which is a there's a little circle right here. It's just a little shrinkage circle, and you may not be able to see it. It's not so bad, but it's right in here. kind of in here. Let me get my light back. See it? Kind of right in, follows this line here. So nothing too horrible, just again some polishing, scratches, stuff like that that needs to come out. Tiny little bubble, tiny bubbles. Good reflection, huh? That's me. Chicago Cubs, go! About 2.5 feet away. Down the side, blocked out pretty nicely. Not laser straight, but pretty straight. Just a little bit of, you know, a little waviness in the clear. Could be blocked out just a little more. Now, this is going to be super hard to see. I have no idea if you can see it. I cannot see it in the screen. Follow my finger down this line, and there's little circles, little depressions. Doop, 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 all the way down. Just above this door line radius, so I don't know if you can see them. They go all the way down. I'm guessing what they did was they skinned the door, riveted it on here, rebuilt the bottom of the door. And probably looked great, and then it shrunk up a little bit. So I'm going to just follow the line, and you can kind of see it. Again, it's right here. Okay, there it is. There it is. Little chip right there at the bottom, could be touched up. And a few handfuls of scratches up here. I didn't mark every polishing scratch because there's a lot of them, you know, just a lot of scratches that need to be tended to. So a couple small little chips right in here. Wheel lips are in pretty nice shape. I'll quit talking, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. That isn't something. There's the bubbles right here. Let me straighten that focus up, and then come way back down here. Got a couple scratches here and there, but down here this is going to get all painted anyway. This is bubbling up. So these lower quarters, no doubt, were sectioned in, some repairs done, just a little bit of, you know, waviness. Again, this black shows everything. See if I can get that into better focus. Not bad. Not bad. Paint meter says not bad. Door hangs out just a little in the back. See it? All right, let's move to the other side. Quickly here on the rear end, I just thought of another spot that I forgot up front. Hold on. Right up here in the front, there's a little color sanding that needs to be sanded and buffed and polished. It's kind of hard to get to. Probably got to pull the bumper off to do it, but that spot there. All right, so I did some polishing over here, just hand buffing to see what I could see what I could do. And that little color radius there, whoop, that's kind of looks like a blend line where they probably did some repair work and then tried to blend off that panel. And you can see it, but it's going to get fixed because they're painting down low, and we got some bubbling right in here. So probably anything from here down doesn't count because it's going to get repaired according to the powers that be. So you can see again that blend line down here, and oh, there's a spot right here, whoop-de-doo, on the paint that needs, they might have sanded through or something there. I'm not really sure what happened. Door lines are good though. Some scratches. Where are they? Right here. Right in there. And just a couple small little chips, and then some couple small little chips right in here. Just a couple little marks, and then just a few miscellaneous hairline scratches, like a scuff right there. So can't really feel them. And looking down the side of the car, pretty straight as the other side of the car is. Might have just got through the paint a little bit there when they were wheeling. So about the only ding I could find is right here. I don't have that on the exploded view. Forgot to write that down, but I'm going to come in on it. It's right there. It's a small one, little door ding because it's going up and down. It's a little hairline scratch right next to it. So just really some polishing marks. There's some up on top of the hood you'll see in a few minutes. The bumpers don't have any real major damage, just some polishing marks that may or may not come off. Up here in front we got the same condition as we had over there. You can see a small area of just color sanding that needs to be loved and buffed. Trim in the back is nice. Grill is nice. Emblems are nice. Nothing to cry and whine about. It's aluminum. It could stand to be polished. Let's go look down the other side of the car. I'm going to end this video because it's already been 27 minutes long almost. Just a little bit of wave in the car. Not bad. Not bad. Most people would say, hey, that's a really nice straight car. They probably wouldn't look at it with a flashlight like I am. Wheels are nice, rocker molding's nice, tires nice. Okay, let's end this and then I'll go over some of the paint on top. Actually, I'm going to leave the paint altogether. Hold on. I had only had a chance to do a short inspection on the front end paint before. As soon as I got here, they put the car up on the hoist for me. So I just noted that there's a few hairline scratches, handprints, marks, and so all of this really could stand to be. This has already been hand buffed by me and one of the other guys. You can see some scuffs on top of the fender. Those are going to need to be color sanded to see if they can go away. Again, black, so it's pretty when it's pretty, that's for sure. But there's a mark here that's present. You know, leaning over a black car to work on it, that's, you know, what you're gonna get some of this. So I suggest if you repaint it, don't ever open the hood and lean in and work on it. Just let it go. Little scratch right here. So you get the idea that there's some hairline scratches, buffing marks. Somebody probably polished the car with a t-shirt or a dirty rag, and some of this, I'm not going to bore you, some of this is on the roof, it's on the door tops, and I didn't really get a super good look at the trunk, but when I did see a few marks back there. By the way, chrome everywhere is really nice. There isn't really much to complain about. Rain gutters are in good shape. Window surrounds, door handles, vent windows, those are original with just a little bit of typical patina along the top of the A-frame there. Antenna's got a button in it. So back here, see a few hand marks and whatnot. I probably could have spent the whole day cleaning the car, but I didn't. I just spent a few minutes doing what I could. And so you can see some of this stuff's probably going to come up. All right. Something about the glass. I gotta pause for a minute here. We'll go to another video. Okay, 1968 Roadrunner.